Every rapper wants to speak on the chaos around them, but as Foolio pointed out, that truth comes with a price.
If you in the streets and you grown, like, you know what the consequences are, and you dead or you in jail.
Every rapper wants to tell the truth about the violence they are surrounded by, but like Foolio said, speaking on it can come at a deadly cost. Just look at how he ended up, just like King Von. On the streets, you're either in a gang or in danger, and either way, you're not safe. While 6ix9ine and Quando Rondo are scrambling to escape that life, Lil Durk's ties to the streets have landed him behind bars. Stick with me as we break down 10 rappers and their gang affiliations. Starting with NBA YoungBoy, a figure known by many names. YoungBoy never broke again. Top, YB, AI, YoungBoy. Born in 1999, he was raised on the north side of Baton Rouge, specifically around North 38th and Chippewa Street. The roots of his 38 baby persona echoed in his music. His ties to the streets are real but hazy. While some swear he's blood, others say it's not that clear-cut. His close ties with Young Thug fueled those rumors, but what's certain is his connection to the 4K Trey crew, who rep the color green. A green bandana even appears on the cover of his mixtape 3860. One Reddit user broke it down, tracing YB's journey from repping black flags in 2016 with NBA to switching up in late 2017, throwing up K's and B's, and repping red and light green. Street slang like slime, slat, and swoop, all common in blood culture, show up often in his tracks like Dead Trolls and War With Us. Digging deeper, it seems 4K Trey, short for Forever Killing Them, is a blood-affiliated crew founded by YoungBoy, made official by Young Thug's YSL and 21 Savage's 2100 Slaughter Gang 4L in 2017 or 2018. That green flag? It stands for more than just color. It's their signature. At first, NBA and 4K Trey were aligned with YSL and 2100, but beef with OTF shifted everything, especially after King Von's death. And while YoungBoy's blood ties are still debated, the next rapper leaves no questions. Young Thug, a blood through and through. His gang ties run deep into the very streets that birthed him. Easily one of the most original rap stars of the last decade, Young Thug rose out of the Atlanta trenches into mainstream stardom. But behind the glitz and success is a man who not only grew up in the gang life, but also tried to sanitize it from within. He's street certified. His upbringing earned him respect wherever he goes. So much so, when Sway asked him where he was from, Thug gave a response that only someone cut from the cloth of the streets could deliver.
Where did you come from? Like, what is your background? Like,
Man.
okay, what's the man? You got, hey Thug, you gotta, you know, you
man,
do
we
that.
came from the street.
The rapper openly confessed his street roots, revealing that he's both taken fire and fired shots himself.
I don't got shot, you know, everything that happened, it don't been both ways. Robbed, killed, got shot, stole, you know, everything.
Young Thug reps Cleveland Avenue, a street that, thanks to him, has become a central landmark in Atlanta's drill scene. But here's something many people miss. Cleveland Avenue has been a gang breeding ground for decades. Locals even nicknamed it Blevin Avenue because Bloods in the area swap out the letter C to show their hatred for Crips. Thug's roots in Blevin run deep, and an old clip shows him flashing rapid-fire blood hand signs like someone who earned his stripes. When fellow Atlanta rapper Lil Trouble passed away, it marked a pivotal moment. Prosecutors used that to open their RICO case against Thug, alleging he was the head of a gang. According to court documents, Young Thug wasn't just a rapper. He was claimed to be a leader in a pack that moved like a criminal machine. The state of Georgia argued that YSL, Thug's label, is more than music. It's a blood-affiliated gang known as Young Slime Life. Prosecutor Adriani Love declared that YSL checks every box of a street gang, using music as a mask for mayhem. Thug eventually spent time behind bars during the RICO trial, until his legal team pulled off a masterclass in courtroom strategy that brought him home. While Thug was walking out, another rapper with deep gang ties was walking in, Lil Durk. In hip-hop, where an artist comes from often shapes how they're perceived, and Lil Durk is a prime example. His lyrics are raw reflections of struggle, loyalty, and gang life, leading to years of speculation about his ties. But real fans know, Durk is a black disciple. He joined the BD gang in 2009 after dropping out of Paul Robeson High School, chasing the same legacy his father left behind. A man known for drug dealing and doing time when Durk was still a baby. Durk's blocks include Lamron and 300, but also THF 46 and Dog Pound. His set, OTF 300, is rooted in infamous South Side spots like A Block, named after O.D. Perry, 64th and Normal, Lamron, and King Drive. While there are more corners tied to his crew, those are the core. Durk's rise in rap came not only through OTF, but also by aligning with Chief Keef, who helped put drill music on the map. While his dad's reputation gave him street cred, Durk was never seen as a shooter. On the streets, he was respected, loved even. A post on the subreddit Chirology confirmed it, saying Durk wasn't known for catching bodies, but he was known for having everyone's back. After blowing up, he looked after his crew, paying legal fees for Rondo Numba 9 and promoting artists like L.A. Capone and his cousin Newski, both of whom were tragically killed. Rondo caught a murder charge for killing a cab driver and is now serving a 39-year sentence. Durk even paid his lawyer. So, while Durk wasn't a gunman, he played the part of the loyal brother. Still, despite finding fame with OTF, only the family, he never left the gang life. When things get tense, Durk's instincts snap back to survival mode. His bond with King Von was born from street loyalty, but it came at a deadly cost. In 2020, Von was gunned down during a brawl with Quando Rondo's crew, a moment that nearly shattered Durk's empire.
Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. He's there right now. This is his. Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro. Oh.
Here's the backstory. Lil Durk founded Only the Family, OTF, in 2010, branding it as a music label, not a gang. But that claim came under fire when, on October 17th, federal charges were unsealed against 5 men tied to OTF. Prosecutors alleged the crew plotted to kill Quando Rondo in 2022, retaliating for his suspected role in the 2020 shooting death of King Von. The indictment didn't stop there. It painted OTF as a hybrid operation, part music label, part criminal enterprise accused of carrying out heinous acts under Durk's direction. Referred to as Banks in court filings, Durk remains locked up while the empire he built runs without its king. While some rappers are swallowed by the streets, this next artist looks to have escaped, at least on the surface. Chief Keef, Black Disciples. Born Keith Pharrell Cozart on August 15, 1995, the man now known as Chief Keef helped redefine the rap scene with the rise of drill music. But before the global fame, Keef was a rising force in Chicago's trenches. Like Durk, he came from O-Block and even had the name inked on his neck to prove it. He lived in Parkway Gardens on the city's south side, territory held by the Black Disciples, the gang Keef reps to this day. Early on, Keef was known to affiliate with OTF 300, a BD set, often aligning with Durk in music and in street rep. But it's important to note, while Durk's OTF later involved members from the 600 BD crew, like Rondo, Keef still had deep roots in 300. In his early music, Keef made no distinction between OTF and 300, treating them as one. That dynamic shifted in 2013 when Durk was arrested on gun charges and Keef allegedly refused to pay the $10,000 bail, a move that soured their bond. Around that time, Keef began distancing himself from the violence of Chicago, relocating to LA in search of a clean break. Some fans, confused by the move and his use of blood-coded slang like boolin, asked if he switched sides. Keef made it clear, "No, I'm Black Disciple Nation. You can take Keef out of O-Block, but you can't take O-Block out of Keef." One of his most intense street feuds was with Lil Jojo, a deadly rivalry born from the historic beef between the BDs and GDs. Keef, tied to 300 Lamron, was BD. Jojo, from 69 Brick Squad, was GD. Both were feared on the block. According to reports, Keef once shot at a cop named Frankie, further cementing his notorious status. Despite all the chaos, Keef survived and now enjoys the rewards of success. But not everyone from that world gets out alive. Some end up buried by the same lifestyle they rapped about. Which brings us to the next name, King Von, Black Disciples. If there was ever a rapper who lived what he spit, it was Von. Born Davon Daquan Bennett, King Von was raised in Chicago's wild South Side, a place nicknamed Chirac for its war zone-level murder rate. Von came up in O-Block alongside names like Chief Keef and was raised in Parkway Gardens at 64th and King Drive, the very heart of BD territory. Known to most as 300, this hood is better recognized by its infamous name, O-Block, the heartbeat of the Chicago street gang, the Black Disciples. It's in this environment that King Von was raised, and his street mentality ran so deep that people nicknamed him Grandson. Not because of any biblical reference, but because in jail, Von reminded older inmates of King David, not the shepherd from scripture, but David Barksdale, the original founder of the Black Disciples. That comparison alone added a new layer of street credibility to Von's name. One look at him, and you could tell the man carried a heavy criminal past. At just 16, he was already behind bars, and by 18, he caught another charge, unlawful possession of a firearm. Word on the block was that Von didn't just talk the talk, he walked it. Feared and respected, he was said to have put in work for the gang, and his lyrics often boasted about violent exploits, including murder. Though nothing was ever confirmed, street rumors claimed Von had dropped 4 to 5 bodies. The most infamous of those was the death of 17-year-old Gakira Barnes, an alleged GD member known for her own street reputation, who was shot alongside 2 others. Von's path to rap stardom was lit by his longtime friend Lil Durk, who saw potential in him and brought him into the OTF fold. Durk, already a staple in Chicago drill, gave Von the backing he needed to survive in the rap industry, but their bond ran deeper than business. It was rooted in loyalty, blood ties, and surviving a war zone. On the streets, Von's name was tied to death and dominance, and unfortunately, the same darkness followed him into fame. At the time, a well-known tension simmered between Durk's camp and NBA YoungBoy's crew, a rivalry that would soon turn deadly. On November 6, 2020, things came to a head outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Von and his entourage crossed paths with Quando Rondo's crew. Surveillance footage later showed Von approaching Rondo and swinging without hesitation. In response, Rondo's man, Lil Tim, standing firm, pulled a gun and shot Von, ending his life in the blink of an eye. Atlanta can be ruthless. They say it's a wild place, and Von's murder proved it. But if you think Atlanta is bad, wait until you hear about Jacksonville, Florida. The next names on our list carved their legacy in blood within the deadly world of Jacksonville drill. Let's talk about Youngeen Ace, ATK. Youngeen Ace leads one of the most feared rap-affiliated gangs in Jacksonville, ATK, short for Ace's Top Killers. Whether ATK stands for Ace's Top Killers or simply Attack, one thing is clear. It's a name tied to destruction. In recent years, much of Jacksonville's street violence has been traced back to this rap-affiliated crew. At the center of it all is Youngeen Ace, whose biggest rival in the city is none other than Julio Foolio. There's no love lost between the two, even though Ace claims they've never met in person. Still, much of Ace's fame stems directly from their feud. As 2021 began, Jacksonville's rap scene got a new face, and a dangerous one at that. Youngeen Ace stepped forward not just as a rapper, but as a force of nature, delivering bars soaked in threats and street prophecy. Dubbed by many as the Grim Reaper of Duval County, his name has been tied to more than just music. It's been tied to Fani Tani and Kodethet. On March 28, 2021, Ace took things global with the release of Who I Smoke, a song that featured fellow gang members and ATK affiliates Spinabenz, Wappa Wit Da Choppa, and Fast Money Goon. The track, layered with violent undertones and direct taunts, sent shockwaves through the rap world. But beyond the beat, it marked a dark shift in Jacksonville drill. Since its release, the song has been followed by a chilling rise in street violence, bodies dropping, names being mourned or retaliated for. And in a twisted irony, the more deadly the impact, the more viral the track has become. In Jacksonville, death and music now move in sync, and Who I Smoke is its theme song.
Which is basically talking about dead people. I went down the list of the people you guys mentioned that have passed away. Rod K, passed away 22. Lil Petey, 18. Bibby, 16. Lil 9, 18. Techie, 22.
Who I Smoke is one of the most disrespectful diss tracks ever released, blatantly aimed at the dead. Youngeen Ace and his crew took the soft, nostalgic melody of Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles, a song known for its innocent charm, and flipped it into something sinister. What sounded like a playful remix was, in reality, a lyrical graveyard. Beneath the catchy hook lay open confessions, admissions of involvement in the deaths of the very people they name-dropped in the track, most of them rival gang members. It wasn't just a diss, it was a declaration. And when DJ Vlad sat down with Youngeen Ace and asked him what possessed them to go that far, his answer left everyone stunned.
Why did you decide to do this stuff?
It's like, it's normal.
Did you hear? In Jacksonville, dissing dead rivals has become the norm. Who I Smoke wasn't an isolated act. It was just the opening chapter in a long, brutal saga of musical disrespect. Youngeen Ace has since dropped track after track mocking the dead, bragging about murders, and turning real-life tragedies into viral lyrics. Fast forward to June 23, 2024. News breaks that ATK's biggest rival has just been killed, ambushed like an animal only hours after celebrating his 26th birthday. While most of Florida grieved the loss, Ace and his crew took to social media, mocking Julio Foolio and the KTA without a moment's pause. But before you start feeling sorry for Foolio, watch this. Julio Foolio, KTA. Just like Ace, Foolio hails from Jacksonville, and he was his most dangerous rival. He's known as the face of KTA, Kill Them All, one of the most feared gangs in the city. Although Foolio has denied that KTA is even real, the streets and the media alike have linked him to its name and every act it's accused of. Foolio once told his origin story, tracing it back to Jacksonville's violent north side, one of Florida's deadliest areas. By age 12, he saw his friend's mother shot and killed right in front of him. That incident marked him forever and pushed him to buy his first gun in 7th grade. From that point on, protecting himself became a lifestyle, not a choice.
They always had the guns and the cars to pull up on us, and you feel we ain't never had that.
Foolio said he had no choice. He had to stand his ground against enemies who, at the time, were grown men while he was still just a kid. His violent path wasn't an anomaly. It was a product of his environment. When a child grows up surrounded by bloodshed like Foolio did, it's no surprise when that child becomes an adult who embraces violence. The war between ATK and KTA, one that ultimately led to Foolio's death, started as a minor dispute but quickly erupted into an all-out gang war. One of the early casualties? Bibby, Foolio's younger cousin. When the court charged Q, an ATK affiliate, with Bibby's murder, Foolio knew the line had been crossed. This wasn't just street beef, it was war. Soon after, a drive-by ambush targeted Youngeen Ace, killing 3 ATK members, including his own cousin, 23. Ace was the only one who made it out alive, a cousin for a cousin. The ATK crew had been out celebrating 23's birthday and were heading back to base when the bullets flew. If you thought Youngeen Ace was cold for mocking the dead, you clearly haven't met Julio Foolio. Just days after the deadly hit on Ace's circle, Foolio posted a photo of 23 on a t-shirt with "Rest in Peace" printed across it. But it didn't stop there. He publicly admitted to urinating on the shirt, then burning it, and said he planned to print a new one. For Foolio, trolling death was a part of his brand. He juggled gangbanging, making music, and stacking cash, all while walking the razor-thin line between fame and the grave. But like King Von, Foolio's story ended the same way. He was gunned down after his own birthday celebration in Tampa, just moments after revealing his location online. His death wasn't exactly shocking. Not when you remember what Foolio once said himself.
If you in the streets and you grown, like, you know what the consequences are, you dead or you in jail.
While gang life usually ends in a casket or a cell, the next rapper somehow dodged both. Quando Rondo, a member of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips. Honestly, the streets have rarely seen a gangster with luck like his. Despite multiple legal issues, he's never done serious time. He got into it with King Von and survived. He even escaped a deadly OTF hit, though it cost him his cousin's life. Who's luckier than that? Born Taekwon Bowman, Quando had it rough from the start. He bounced through juvenile centers before falling in love with music. By 2019, he was in county jail but bailed out, just as his gang affiliation deepened. As a teen, Quando joined the Savannah and Atlanta arm of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips. If you're not familiar, the Rollin' 60s are a feared Crip subset originally formed in LA's Hyde Park in 1976. They're now one of the largest street gangs in Los Angeles, with an estimated 1,600 members according to Wikipedia. Gang signs include Seattle Mariners and Chicago White Sox logos and graffiti-marked territory. Quando's ties to the gang aren't just rumors, they're in court records. On June 14th, a grand jury indicted him for conspiracy to violate Georgia's Controlled Substances Act, gang terrorism, illegal use of a communication device, and more. The indictment stated he was an active Rollin' 60s member, allegedly requesting guns and coordinating a marijuana deal with fellow gang members. But here's where it gets wild. Despite all this heat, Quando Rondo still walks free.
Quando Rondo has renounced his neighborhood Crip status. You could just do that? You can just be like, I'm out. This was fun, but I'm done.
Yeah, you can, but the technical way to do it is, go get put on.
Following his feud with OTF, the Savannah-born rapper publicly distanced himself from the Rollin' 60s Crips, sparking speculation over whether his legal charges stem from recent actions or past affiliations. Content creator 1090. Jake weighed in, suggesting that Rondo likely stepped away from the gang to protect himself and salvage his rap career. But Quando Rondo isn't the only artist under federal scrutiny for gang involvement. 21 Savage, tied to 2100, Slaughter Gang, and 4L, has also caught the Fed's attention. 21, Savage moved from London to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, like, that's our gang. Like, we started, that's our neighborhood, so that's what
and quickly made a name for himself through his music and hit records. But in the streets, he was already known for something else. Everyone around him recognized his affiliation with 2100, Slaughter Gang, and 4L. sets closely tied to the infamous Sex Money Murder, SMM, Bloods. Early in his rap career, 21 was often seen throwing up 2 guns in the air, a well-known symbol of SMM. However, some fans remain confused about his exact gang ties, especially after his interview with Vlad TV, where he openly confirmed that he was affiliated with the Bloods.
Now, in your songs, you talk about being a Blood.
Right.
Like how old were you when you first started getting into that?
I don't even know, man. Probably about 19.
Though 21 Savage didn't name a specific set, he's also a founding member of Slaughter Gang and the SL4L Clique, which he and his crew formed well before their affiliation with the Bloods. To clarify, a subreddit focused on the Atlanta rap scene shared a gang profile detailing that 2100 Slaughter is a clique of Billy Bad, Sex Money Murder, and 9 Trey Bloods, based on the Glenwood Ard 2100 block stretching from East Atlanta's Zone 6 to Decatur and Covington Highway. They're also said to have roots in areas like Boulevard, Old 4th Ward, Central Drive, and Line Street, with a West Side hybrid known as West Side 2100. It appears the 2100 Slaughter 4L crew are tied into the 4L Blood faction on the east side, with 21 being one of the original members. But while some rappers benefit from gang ties, our next rapper had no such luck, Tekashi 6699. He joined the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods in 2017 for protection and street clout, unaware he was stepping into a chaotic world of betrayals and power struggles. Tekashi later testified in court, revealing how 9 Trey members often targeted not only rivals, but even each other to maintain status. Prosecutor Jacob Edwin Warren explained that being in the gang wasn't enough. You had to prove you were the most violent, even if it meant hurting your own. Facing prison time and fearing for his life, Tekashi renounced the gang less than a year later. When arrested with his manager and other 9 Trey members, he quickly pleaded guilty to racketeering and cooperated with federal agents, exposing the gang's operations. He admitted he gave up to $253K to members to buy protection and street credibility, believing it would boost his music career. But that move nearly cost him everything. So here's the lesson. Don't waste your time chasing validation. If you enjoyed this video, click the card on screen to watch more just like it.